Today I am building my first ever dream gaming PC. These are the parts I went with. Some of them I got used, some of them I got new in the current RAM apocalypse. I went with the Asus TUF GT502 Gaming Ryzen case. I also got the ARGB lighting kit for the upper and bottom rail, so it looks nice and trimmed. I went with a 1TB Kingston Fury Renegade drive Gen 5. We also have a 1000 watt Asus ROG STRIX white power supply. For the RAM, I went with 64 gigs, bear with me, 64 gigs of Corsair Vengeance. It's a 6000 MHz with CL40 speeds. The processor box currently isn't here because I didn't get it because I got the combo used. I got 64 gigs of RAM. It came in Asus. It's an Asus ProArt Creator X870E motherboard, and the CPU is a Ryzen 9 7950X. For the fans and the cooling, for the top fans for the radiator, I went with Unifans CL wireless 120s. For the actual radiator, AIO cooling, I went with the Lian. Oops, that was expensive. I went with the Lian HydroShift Square, that's what the S stands for. AIO, I like it because obviously the HydroShift, you do not have the tubes going like that throughout the case, which would block the nice displays on my side fans. I know, a 21st century problem. And obviously we have some thermal paste. It's some standard MX7 Arctic thermal paste. Without further ado, let's get into the build. So I guess the best place to start is with the motherboard. This is the, as I mentioned, Asus ProArt X870E Creator Wi-Fi motherboard. Let's open it. This is used, but I'd say in good condition. Lift it out with the bag. We need to put it aside. Close the box. When you're building a PC, it's best to keep it on the box so that you don't poke anything or damage the little pins on the back, all the hundreds of them. Okay, and put it on the bag. Maybe rotate it for you guys. Okay. As I mentioned, the CPU is already pre-installed. The Ryzen. You can see it. But I can uninstall and install it again for you just for your viewing pleasure. Remove it like so. Lift it without dropping it. That's the CPU. Now match the gold corner with this corner up here. Drop in a CPU. Give it a little wiggle so it's it's properly seated. Put this down and latch the arm. Okay, and that's your CPU installed. It's easy as that. It is quite dangerous, not really dangerous, but risky. If you damage the pins, it's a big issue. Now we will add the RAM, the 64 gigs of Corsair Vengeance, the first stick of DDR5 RAM. We will open these two slots, so the first one from the 24 pin and the one over. We will make sure you line up the notch. It's quite in the middle, it's almost middled, but it's slightly in the lower part, so the upper part is slightly longer than the bottom. Can install it. Use both fingers, press down. You can press the bottom first and then the top. You'll hear the click and it's fully properly seated, and this little plastic that moves has gone down the second stick. Okay, I guess the next part now would be to do the M.2 SSD. On this motherboard, this has a Q-latch system, which means you don't have to use the screws to unscrew it. You push this down like so and lift it up. Now you will have some protective plastic on these and this one, which you need to remove before you put in your M.2. Mine doesn't have it because, as I mentioned, it is a used motherboard, so it had a previous owner. The SSD we will be installing is the, as I mentioned, Kingston Renegade Fury G5 SSD. It's a 1 terabyte, 14,200 megabytes a second speeds. I mean, this is as good as it gets. I would have loved 2 terabytes. I mean, I did pay as much for a 1 terabyte as 2 terabytes would have cost me before the RAM shortage. What you can comment and leave comments below. What's your opinion on the whole RAM shortage? Have you started to despise AI ever so slightly? I have. Okay, so installing the M.2 1 terabyte. On most motherboards that I have noticed, on most motherboards it goes this way, but on this one it's on the opposite side, so you go this way. You plug it in so it doesn't go further this direction, and then you just push it down and it latches. You hear the click, it's latched in there. Now you can put in this heatsink. It's a very beefy, thick heatsink on this motherboard, which is good for these Gen 5 drives. It will keep them nice and cool. You push it in. As I know, that's the motherboard prepped, so let's move on to the case. And now, starting on the case, to prep it, I will remove the side glass panel and put it to the side. I will pop off the front glass panel, adjust on these pins, power pins, and it has holders on the bottom. Now we need to remove these 3 fans because we will be moving them down to the bottom and putting the other fans on the side. Now let's rotate the case to the other side so we can get access to the back. Pop off the back panel, put it also to the side, and now we need to start working on the back. Firstly, we need to remove this, so we can get to the back fans to unscrew them. So now, with our screwdriver, we start by unscrewing this part. Try to keep a memory of where you put each screw from each part, so you know where to return it. Okay, by removing that part, we can tilt it up and slide out. This is a radiator holder or a fan holder, but we will not be using it. We might put it on in the end. Now I will remove the hard drive bay. They are thumb screws, but honestly you might need to use a screwdriver because they are quite well put in there. By removing the 2 thumb screws, you can remove the hard drive bay, and also put it to the side with its screws. Now we have access to our fans that we will be moving to the bottom. Now we need to unscrew all of them. There's a lot of screws. Now in their place I will be installing these Lian Unifan TL wireless LCD 120 reverse blades. Before you all leave comments, how is it all just single-sided? No, it's reverse blade. Okay, unbox, pop the box, open it, whoop, whoop. We get the connector, we get the screws, another connector. This, I believe, is the wireless dongle. You can plug this straight into a USB port on the back of your motherboard, or you could use this included cable, plug this end into the receiver, and just check the direction. Yep, it's in this direction. Okay, it was the other direction. So you plug that into the receiver, and now this goes to one of your USB ports, and this goes to one of your fan ports. Okay, put that to the side for now. Move that, and we get our first look at the Lian Unifan TL's LCD edition. If we remove the plastic, nice reverse bleed fan. Let's open them all. They come with plastic protectors on the sides. As you can see, they are removable, and also on the center hub LCD screen. Okay, so now we need to attach them together. They go back in just like that. You match them up. I guess you just, yep, slide them together. Match it, slide it. That will be our side fans. In that direction, obviously on the other side. So we will now put them in. They'll fit nicely. But first you need to remove all these rubber grommets. Do it later to remove these side protectors, because it will be difficult to do it later. Okay, now we go around, put them in. I will screw them in now. Okay, so that was way more of a struggle than I would like to admit. It's actually quite a tight fit in this case. Like, I'll show you from the other side. You can see there's not much room up nor down. And now I need to do the bottom fans. These ones, I need to screw them to this bracket. Okay, so now that we have them all attached and screwed down to the bracket for the bottom fans, we need to feed this mess and jumble of cables through this here hole. and screw it down. Now that we have the bottom and the side fans installed, I guess the next step would be putting in the motherboard. Okay, so now it's time to put in the motherboard. Personally, I like to hold it by one side, put my hand in this hole here for the IO shield, and guide it. Pay very close attention so you don't scratch the back of the motherboard with the standoffs. Line it up, it should pop in. When you wiggle it, it shouldn't really move because there's usually a middle standoff that can hold the motherboard in place. Now, you get your screwdriver, your motherboard screws, and you screw all of them in. Do not be lazy and screw only some of them. I know some people do that. It's not great. So, just screw them. And that is our motherboard installed. So now let's move on to the power supply and get all of the necessary cables. I will move the case out the way. Now let's unbox the power supply and get all of our necessary cables. We get nice stickers, other accessories. You can actually watch, you'll be able to watch a full-on unboxing of this power supply on my channel. So I will not go in detail now. But you can see most of the plugs that you mostly will not need more than this, what this can provide, all of these plugs. It's a very nice power supply. Our cables. And of course we also get the European style and the English/Middle East style plug. But we will need that later and we can move that to the side for now. Let's see our cables. Opening the package. We will need, for this build currently, we will need our 24 pin. We will need both of our CPU cables. We will need also two 8 pins. And one SATA. Let's go back to the case. Now we plug in our cables and feed them through the grommets to the back of the case. Make sure to use the right side. That's supposed to go to the motherboard and not the power supply. Feed it through. Yes, it would have been easier to do it from the other side, but hey, it is what it is. Make sure it's fully plugged in. You'll hear a little pop. We can organize these a bit later on. Actually, we can feed these through on later from the other side for the GPU. Plugging in our USB-C front panel. Our USB 3.0, also front panel. HD audio. Okay, now let's install our power supply in the back. You will need 4 screws. Okay, now with our power supply installed, I will deal with this rat's nest in the back later, honestly, off camera. But now let's move on to our cooler. Let's prep it and install it in the top. Okay, so for our cooler, we'll need to remove the top. For this, I recommend removing both straps. Side. See, we have a nice built-in magnetic dust filter here inside. Now we need to remove this top bracket because we will be mounting our AIO to it. Now that we have removed our top bracket, we will keep this to mount to our AIO and we will get this out of the way. Okay, so let's now unbox and prepare our AIO for installation. Lifting up the top, we get a manual. We get an OR code for the L3 Connect software, L-Connect 3 software, and we get a thank you letter that we get with all of our Lian products. On the inside, we can see 3 accessory boxes, a little screwdriver, but I think this is used primarily for Intel. Here is our pump block head, and in here we should have our radiator for, of course, cooling. If we pull it out very gently, the assembly, put it aside. We will also need our AMD mounting hardware. So to mount the Lian HydroShift, you need to replace the stock brackets with the Lian brackets. So now I will be doing that. Make sure to follow the arrow for CPU, which means this one's the top one pointing inward. And this one, indicated by the arrow, is the bottom one pointing towards the CPU. And that's it mounted. And of course our accessory box. In terms of this, we can close it. And for now, put it to the side. Now, this is our accessories, our AIO. If we remove the cover, we have to remember to remove this before we apply thermal paste and mount it to your motherboard. Our screen just comes off, so you don't damage it during install. During the install process, you can put that on at the end. The radiator also comes in a nice bag for protection. Okay, so now that we have unbagged everything, you can see our radiator. Now we need to attach our case fans to it in this direction, I believe, so that we can attach our connection. This is a good thing about the Lian products, primarily the fans, is that you can attach them all together. They clip together, and then you can just use the end plug, and you only have this cable, not a whole bushel of cables, which you might have seen in the beginning of my video. Now, this is going to the back. Let's actually make sure of that. So we put our plug in the right direction, yes. Okay, so we do not need to rotate it, but you can rotate the cables to this side so they come out to this end if you need to. Otherwise, we just slip it in. You see, it's very easy. Pop it on and off. Make sure it's well seated. Okay, align them. Now we will need our accessory box. Comes with a bunch of goodies. We'll need some of it, we will not need all of it. We have some Lian thermal paste. I don't know the brand they use, if it's their own brand or not. You get your 4 main mounting nuts to mount the AIO block directly to the motherboard. You get 2 nice guiding. You slip these on to guide the pipes, so it looks nicer. This one, I guess, is if you don't want to use the hub, they give you the wireless hub. I guess you can use this, so you can power them all on and attach them just directly to the motherboard, not using the hub. I think, do not hold me on that. And these are our main screws, the ones we will need to screw the AIO on our bracket of our case, or onto your case, depending if you do not have a removable bracket. And we have these long bolts that we will need to install our fans to our radiator. You can pour them all out, just be careful not to lose any of them. You can put them on a side. Now with a screwdriver, grab it, align it, and screw them all in. Now that we have in all the screws for the fans, we can see it's all nicely mounted onto the block. We can see they all spin properly. That's me struggling, not the fan. And now we can screw this on to our bracket for our case. Just make sure that you put it on in the right orientation, in the right direction, which is Well, it turns out it still did not fit. All this work of angle grinding this and stuff was for nothing. Okay, we're still not out of options, which means now I will try to screw it back together onto the bracket and use zip ties to hold the tubes in place so I can drop them enough so they reach, because they are too short to make the bend and go over to the socket. So zip ties it is. So in the end, the bracket I cut to make it fit did not work. I used zip ties to hold the tubes so I can drop them so that they can reach the socket, so it can fit. Now it fits. Turns out the Lian HydroShift is highly incompatible with the Asus stuff, GT502 case, Ryzen edition, and probably the standard edition. But hey, I made it work. Basically I need to remove all of the brackets holding the tubes, get some zip ties, drop the tubes, and then it fits. Smooth sailing. So now that we have gotten our radiator in, I will be installing the thermal paste and mounting the CPU block. Now, with the new PC build nearly complete, the keen-eyed amongst you might have noticed that there is something missing, primarily that being the GPU. Now, You might be wondering where is it, but I am doing the same. What is this? An old potato has appeared on the table. You might be wondering what is it doing on the table and not in an e-waste recycling facility. This is in fact my current, soon to be ex, old PC from 2011. But as you might have noticed, it has a GPU that we will be using in our new build. You might be wondering why. There's a simple and short explanation, and that is that I ran out of money. Now, if any company is out there willing to send me a GPU truly worthy of a PC of this caliber, I will do a part 2 of this PC build video where I will be installing it and putting it into this PC. Damn, an RTX Astral would look lovely in here. Okay, moving on. We will now be moving this old PC, old GPU, and transplanting it into the new build so we can finally turn it on and see the beast roar. We remove the thumb screws, open this. I need to remove these two expansion slots. This goes back in. Make sure it's fully seated. It's time to peel all the stickers before the first boot. Now we will start up the PC, its first boot, and I'm terrified. 3, 2, 1. What? Now with the PC built and setup, this marks the end of this build video. Now this isn't the end of all the plans I have for this setup to upgrade it and make it better. Obviously I still have a lot of things to upgrade, like the chair, the monitors, the keyboard. Obviously the GPU, as you may have noticed, isn't matching and needs a heavy upgrade. So I'll be seeing you in another video on my channel where I will be potentially upgrading these things in the setup, or a completely different video like woodworking and other creative videos and creative things I do in my spare time. In the end, without me dragging on, thank you all for watching and for sticking with me till the end of this video, and I will be seeing you next time. Peace out.